IVM.
Hello one, hello all. Welcome to the Diary of the Traveling Professor. And I'm Siddharth Deshmukh, your friendly neighborhood traveling professor himself. And as I take fresh guard, this is the 101st episode. So it's episode number 1 for me because I'm taking fresh guard in order to perhaps go to another century. What I thought I'd do was to look at some of the questions that have come along my way, either through LinkedIn or through Instagram or through any other place, and try and do justice to at least a question per podcast, which I find really interesting. And so I thought I would choose the first one. It was somewhere a question where I will probably be eating a little of humble pie and probably do a little bit of boasting too. So be prepared for both. What else is there before I get into the question? Well, a lot has, happened in the month of November in London because I'm still in lockdown and just getting out of lockdown as we speak. It was an interesting month because I have actually experienced bloody lockdown in London as well as Pune. So, not too many people have experienced lockdowns in different continents, and your traveling professor is one of them. It's the same goddamn experience, but at least this time I was with my family. So it does make for good games of Scrabble, if nothing else. And besides, of course, all the love. But coming back to the question was an interesting one. Okay. And shout out to Jyotsna for asking that question. The question was around the fact that I made a bold prediction. By the way, I just said Jyotsna, did I? No, it's Jyoti Mishra. Okay. And Jyoti Mishra, sorry for mispronouncing your name, and secondly, thank you so much for the question, and thank you for being my student, and thank you for making me eat humble pie. What I had said in 2017, and probably I had started saying this in 2015 or something, and I used to say that as half a joke, maybe. What I used to say was, we are not going to say digital marketing in the next 5 years. In the next 5 years, digital marketing is going to be dead. But what I meant when I said that, of course, digital marketing is still very much there in 2020, and it's probably going to be there in 2022. So, Jyoti, I'm going to be kind of eating humble pie even then, maybe, but not really. And let me explain why I say not really. I think digital marketing is going to become so ubiquitous, and that's probably what I meant when I said that to you and so many others, is going to be so ubiquitous that traditional marketing is not going to be differentiated from digital anymore. I think that's what I meant. Now, I don't think that it might happen in 2022, so I might have to refine my predictions and push them by a couple of more years. But I think that we are already seeing it. We are seeing that for the first time it's predicted. I think my friend Karthik Nagarajan told me that for the first time it's predicted that perhaps digital marketing spends are going to go beyond traditional marketing or traditional media marketing spends in 2021, projected to be so in India. And they're already so in a lot of countries in the West, but in India as well. And I think the pandemic has hurried some of this along, because the pandemic has, according to Professor Scott Galloway, of course, has been a bit of an accelerant. And it's been an interesting accelerant, certainly for digital, because what we are certainly seeing is that digital is moving and becoming more and more traditional. So as digital becomes more and more traditional, and traditional becomes more and more old, I don't know, old media, new media, I think we need some new labels. And I think the way in which I look at it is some of the older, let's say, talking about digital, some of the older conclusions that, digital is just a channel, is being widely questioned. Now, digital is another channel, of course. It is an interactive channel, very measurable, etc., and all of that we all know. But to my mind, it's more than that, because what digital is doing is that it is changing our behavior, because it's allowing more choices for our behavior to come forth. We are, becoming more social, We are actually connecting to different parts of our brain in different ways. And some of them actually feel that they're being forced upon by the social media algorithms. I'll make another post of it. I'm not sure I believe in that completely at this point in time. But the point I'm trying to make over here is that digital marketing is not just a channel. Okay, digital marketing is a way in which technology can shape people's minds or help shape people's minds. And we have been seeing this across for the past 20 odd years. And now, what I think the new way in which we can distinguish one particular kind of marketing from the other is not going to be digital versus non-digital. To my mind, I think it is going to be probably more connected with neurosciences. So what I have come to realize, and maybe some of you already have come to realize, is that the way in which digital can be precise, we are able to actually tackle different parts of our own brain in more precise ways. So if I want you to become more logical and rational, I will connect with you in a context like LinkedIn, and I will probably talk to you via text. Okay, because that connects to your prefrontal cortex. And if I want to connect to the social side of you, perhaps, just spark up your limbic system and make you connect to your emotions, then I would maybe go to your Facebook and talk to you because of that. Because we've realized that we are sparking up different rooms. Just imagine that your brain is made up of different rooms. One room is the cellar, the other room is the cozy bedroom, the third room is the logical, study room. So I'm sure I'm screwing it up for various neuroscientists who want to reach out to my throat and throttle me in. But doesn't it make sense from a marketing perspective that a certain kind of marketing is lighting up a certain kind of room? And so I'm actually firing up neurons in a particular way when I'm kind of doing a certain kind of marketing. And that's how I see marketing's lingo hopefully evolve, wherein we are saying we are being more precise, we are being less woo-woo about the way in which our marketing is. So it's no longer about just brand building versus performance marketing. But what we are doing is that we are saying, okay, so I'm firing up this neuronal network, and I'm trying to increase these kind of chemicals in people's minds, and I'm trying to achieve this kind of effect in the social animal in you or the individual animal in you, and so on and so forth. Our language of marketing needs to change, and our language about digital versus non-digital needs to be thrown away. Now, I'm sure that none of this is going to happen in the next couple of years. So, Jyoti, I am sure that my prediction about digital dying because it becomes so ubiquitous is going to be probably wrong. But I do feel that I hope it becomes right. And I hope that we move beyond this so-called man-made divide of digital versus traditional media and actually embrace the fact that marketing has always been about embracing the newest technologies to kind of propagate messages. Okay, and to kind of create the right kind of perceptions in people's minds and to shape human behavior through those perceptions. And I feel that instead of kind of categorizing them via technology, let's acknowledge how radio had shaped us. Let's acknowledge how TV had shaped us. Let's acknowledge how print has shaped us. And let's acknowledge how digital has shaped us. What we need to acknowledge is that technologies will keep changing. The way of delivering that content will keep changing. But what we have to appreciate is through this digital way of, communication, we have stumbled upon our own understanding of the human brain in a much better way, in a much more compact way, in a much more precise way. And it has led us to become way better marketers, or it will lead us to become way better marketers if only we understand where to look. Well, I hope you like this diary entry of mine. I do accept that my prediction has been off by a couple of years, and we still are going to use the terms digital marketing and traditional marketing for a while more. But I do feel that we have stumbled upon a bigger truth, which I wanted to share with you. right? The world's my classroom, of course. When this mic is in front of me, this is what I've realized. And what I also wanted to tell you is that any question like this that you want me to break down into first principles and give you some strange thoughts that might spark up an imaginative thought or two in your own mind, happy to do that. Just reach out to me on LinkedIn, on Instagram, where I am the Traveling Professor. And I would like you to go to ivmpodcast.com or just download the app if you like to listen to podcasts like these. And until next time, I hope you like this one.
I hope you enjoyed that show. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Another fun week in the books last week, and I think you guys should definitely check out some of the shows that we did. So first, let me tell you about Cock and Bull. We did 2 Cock and Bulls on Cyrus Says last week, which is, I don't think we've ever done before. But there was just so much to talk about, and it was fun. The first one was just on Trish, myself, and Cyrus. The second one, we had Abhijit Ganguly on, and that was a great episode. Do check that out. Check out Know Your Kanun as well. It's been a while since I spoke about that show, but Amber's been doing a great job on it. This week he spoke to Naina Sharma, a Canadian lawyer, about the ways that you do business in Canada and the challenges that presents. Definitely very interesting stuff. Do check that out. The guys at Naan Curry are doing some really, really fun stuff. Do check out their latest episode. They talk about roti, the simple bread, but it's got some complications to it. Let them tell you about what they are. Do check that out. Also, do definitely check out the Wire Talks with Siddharth Bhatia. He's been killing it, man. It's just a new show, but what great conversations. This week, he had Siddharth Singh on to talk about pollution. Do check that out. And you know what, guys? The best news of all, Simplified is back. They've been back for a few weeks, and I haven't called them out before, but remember that they're back and do check them out. This week, they talk about, does censorship make sense? Knowing the guys, I think I know the answer to that, but you should go check that out. And with that, I hope to see you again next week.
Do you have a night routine? Well, everyone has one. And the to-do list usually looks like this. Brush your teeth, set that alarm, get into your pajamas, and switch off those screens. But here's one more to add to that list. Tune into the Positively Unlimited podcast for a dose of positive action and tips on how to build powerful mindsets. Episodes out every Monday on the IVM Podcast app, ivmpodcast.com, or wherever you tune into podcasts.